Call to order the Delaware County Commissioners meeting of August the 3rd of 2026. It's now 9:03. Please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry.
Here.
Commissioner Brand.
Here.
Commissioner Reagan.
Present.
Mr. Brooks.
Here.
Mr. Struble.
Okay, thank you. I believe we have an employee of the month,
We actually have two nominated
that's
by
true.
Tanya Dunsmore
Mrs. Dunsmore.
from the auditor's office. It's a team employees of the
effort.
month.
Tanya Dunsmore, Delaware County Auditor's Chief Deputy. I am here to award two employees because they work as a team for our county, and I think everybody knows them, but this is Whitney Brewer. Everyone knows her as Whitney Trent because she never wanted to go through the email change fiasco after she got married. And this is Elizabeth Smith Shelley. So they work as a team for our budget and our settlement. And I really don't think that I could say it better than I wrote it. So I'm just going to read you what I wrote so that you can know why I nominated them and to know a little bit more about them personally. These, excuse me, these two work as a team to take on some of the top most important job duties in the county. Their job duties include, but are not limited to, settlement for the entire county, budget for the entire county, and all required reporting to the state, amongst all other state revenue and disbursements to the county and units. They both are young and came into this environment blind. All departments now seek their area of expertise out more than anyone in the auditor's office besides myself, including their coworkers. They have both taken on all software systems, existing, and helped build new ones, learned the entire chart of accounts, and amended as needed, along with learning and meeting state deadlines and following state statutes. They work directly with all department heads, council, and units on a regular basis to help assist with anything and everything that others do not understand or need help with. They have worked together to cover each other with maternity leaves 3 times between them. I don't think anyone really understands the amount of work and importance that goes into what they do, except for me and my predecessor. I am so impressed by these two with all they deal with and take on. We are to the point now that I give them the lead and they run with it and only come to me if necessary. They're adapting into their environment, and as an immediate supervisor, that is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm sorry I get so emotional when I do these. I am very thankful for their time, efforts, and hard work and would like for them to be acknowledged for it. They can take turns in the parking spot. Both of them are in their 20s and each have 3 small children. Whitney and her husband are from the south side of Muncie and have always lived there. Elizabeth and her fiance recently bought their first home, also on the south side of Muncie. Both like spending family time the most out of everything they do and do a very good job of attending to home and children around work. Whitney also works part-time at her children's daycare and is very involved in her church. They work very well together as a team here at our county, and we are all fortunate for that. I think everyone here can agree that they have become an asset to our county as a whole, not just the auditor's office. I hope everybody else realizes the wonderful job that they do and everything that they have to endure.
Do we have their certificates? I think they're on the round table. We'll get you your certificates. Congratulations. Would you guys like to say anything? Speech prepared? Yeah, congratulations.
They do. The girls do a great job for the county, and I think a lot of us do see what you guys do and what you have to go through, and I want you to know that believe speaking for everyone, the commissioners appreciate all you do. So thank you.
And since there are two of you, I'm gonna give up my spot for the month, so both of you have a
Oh,
place up
that's
close to the
nice.
building.
Very cool.
Yeah, very nice.
Congratulations.
Yes, well done. Okay, the Civic Center Authority, I think we need an appointment by August the 20th and a Democrat. Do we have any names? Has anybody heard?
We just got this notification on July 21st, so our last commissioner meeting was July 20th. So the day after, we were notified by the Civic Center Authority that that we were in need to appoint one Democrat to serve through from August 1st, 2 days ago, through July 21st of 28. So it looks like it's completing somebody's term. I don't know who stepped off.
I'm not
Their
sure.
next board meeting would be August 20th, I believe, which is 3 days after our next commissioner meeting. So we are looking for one Democrat to serve on the Civic Center Authority Board from August 1st to July 21st of 28. And we would need that name or names by our August 17th meeting.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, so be thinking of someone. And if you've never served on a board, might be a good time to step up.
And there's a place on our new website where you can put in your interest for board service. There's a place you can attach a cover letter or your resume, whatever types of qualifications or boards that you're interested in and what makes you believe that you have the experience or the background or the interest to support that particular organization.
Thank you. Table business, do we have anything? we need to
President
remove?
Reagan, do you want to talk about the Fairgrounds Board? For any reason, we're in need of a president now?
Well, we did have a very, very good fair this year. They worked very hard and they had good attendance and the monies were a little higher. And we do have Dan White, who has served many years as the fair board. And then when he stepped down as president, Tom Isom stepped up. And now Mr. Isom has stepped down as president of the fair board. So they will be having their meeting the third Tuesday of the month and electing a new president. I think we do have one open field for a seat.
Yeah, I think
So-
there's one open, but will this create an additional opening? So we're looking for two? We're always looking for volunteers.
Well, Tom's going back to vice president.
Okay.
He
So he's
was-
staying on.
He's staying on for a while, yes.
And
So-
we have a maintenance position posted out there. Right, Dan
Oh.
White resigned as maintenance.
Yes, yes, he is resigned as the maintenance person, and I believe we have it on the web
We do.
that they're looking for someone that wants to work,
We'll be waiting on that board though to give us the nomination for a person for president.
That's correct.
yeah, they'll be having.
Yeah.
So at the next board meeting, hopefully they handle that. And then we still have one opening on the Board of Health that the commissioners have the purview to just appoint. Dr. Dow resigned, so we're looking for a Republican medical doctor, MD, who's interested in serving on the Board of Health. They need to submit their interest to Jamie Bain or to the Board of Health, and that board also has to make that recommendation to the commissioners before we can consider an appointment.
I was sent a resume last week and forwarded it to Jamie Bain.
I also received a separate one from what you did and forwarded it as well. So I know there are at least two that have expressed interest.
Okay. Anything under table business needs to be removed.
John, do you want to talk about the tower lease? Do we need to take that off the table?
No.
Okay.
I did get an email, and there's still some questions that they have. I'm still arguing with them over the revenue share, so.
We got the meeting minutes for July 6th and July 20th on Friday afternoon. I have not
I have not
looked at
either.
them, so I think we should leave those tabled.
Thank you. So approval of minutes of executive session on July 16th. And there were
Motion-
two of
motion
them at
to
1
approve.
o'clock and
Yep.
2 o'clock. Can we lump those together, John?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Meeting of the 20th.
Make a motion to table the meeting minutes for July 20th.
Second.
Second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. And then the executive session of July 28th at 2 o'clock.
Motion to approve.
You want to second those since I
Second.
wasn't here?
Second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
I'll abstain.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. Now, presentations. The opioid settlement fund plan.
So the opioid settlement fund plan has two separate buckets, a restricted and an unrestricted. We recently received notification from the state for our August 2026 opioid distributions in the amounts of $42,387.49 for restricted abatement share and $4,654.66 for unrestricted share. So as you can see, the unrestricted funds are very limited. The restricted are extremely limited. I put a proposal together back in March to consider how we would potentially utilize our opioid settlement funds in the form of a spending plan. And I would like to get this back up for discussion. I've had discussion with a few of the towns, and they also struggle to find ways to spend the restricted funds. I know the town manager, Chase Bruton, is here today. He made a comment to me right before this meeting. I've talked to some other towns. A few of the towns are willing to allow the county to have a plan to spend those restricted funds, but we need to come up with a plan, because right now, as far as I know, unless somebody knows differently, I don't know that we have a plan to spend the restricted or the unrestricted. I think at one time, potentially the funds were reserved for what was the planned mental health facility.
That's correct. They were.
And now we have a good path there. So these funds are not needed for the mental health facility, which is now the Addiction Recovery Center.
And we were letting the Board of Health grant some of those also.
The Board of Health has been spending opioid settlement funds.
No, I don't believe so.
I thought they were giving grants out.
They were giving grants out from the money they got from the state of Indiana outside the opioid.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So anyway, I will recirculate this proposal, which is an opioid settlement spending plan. Question for my fellow commissioners: would you also like me to circulate this to the towns, or do we want to look at it?
Let's decide first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I will circulate this to the commissioners and to legal counsel, and we want to leave this on our agenda under old business.
Okay. Delaware County Soil and Water.
Claire Burt with Delaware County Soil and Water Conservation District. We'd like to ask you to renew your generous financial support that you provided in 2024 and 2025. But first, we'd like to give you some updates of the work we've been doing. The SWCD is a member of the Delaware County Invasive Plant Partnership, also known as DIP, and its focus is on removing invasive species and planting native species in their place. Since 2023, our volunteers have spent over 700 hours doing this very thing in the community. Additionally, over the last 2 years, DIP gave away over 1,200 packets of native seed collected locally and packaged by volunteers. For events, we've partnered with Cardinal Greenways, Muncie Disc Golf Club, Mid-Indiana Trails, Flatland Resources, and Minnetrista. We've done an invasives removal paired with a litter cleanup along Gavin Street in Muncie and plan to continue this in the future. We are also planning to partner with Muncie Public Library to remove some of the invasive species on their property and plant native species in their place. DIP works to continue expanding its reach and its services to the community. We offer free landowner surveys to provide guidance to landowners on invasive species removal and native plant species selection. In other news, the SWCD is leasing land adjacent to our office from Ball State University in order to build a demonstration garden where we'll grow cover crops, prairie, and vegetables. We are partnering with Delaware County Master Gardeners on this project. We are also proud to report that coming up in 2027, the district will be receiving $35,000 from the Department of Natural Resources Lair Fund. This will pay for a cost share program for farmers to implement best management practices such as blind tile inlets, water and sediment control basins, and tree plantings. These funds will go to the Campbell Creek and Reese Ditch watersheds of the Mississinawa River watershed. Now, Colby's going to give you some updates as well.
Hello, I would also just wanted to share a few things that we've done, also with some of the stormwater funds that we've received, specifically using those funds as a match for a $125,000 technical assistance grant we received from the state of Indiana. We've been using in the last couple of years. So a couple highlights of that effort. Last fall, we put together an 8-page report that kind of consolidated past research and projects that have been completed around Prairie Creek Reservoir. I believe we shared that with the commissioners. Just to clarify some confusions and misconceptions out there and incorporate some maps and storytelling about those past efforts. With that, this fall, going into this next year, we're going to be expanding some of our research around Prairie Creek Reservoir with a partnership with Ball State University, looking at different sources of nutrients to the reservoir. And we've also I started to write grants for Prairie Creek Reservoir specifically to help with additional conservation practices in the watershed that surrounds it. In addition, with this funding, we've been able to hire a GIS technician, which has been a really great addition to our team. Some of the projects is mapping soil suitability for as it relates to some policy around data centers, compiling and mapping our tillage transects data, which helps us make the case for additional state and federal funding, and has partnered with other agencies in the county, like the Drainage Board, to help identify long-term maintenance costs and to promote different types of cost share opportunities to those landowners.
Sir,
Your mic went off.
Yeah, I think your mic went off.
Just hit the button.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
We sort of serve as a hub for a lot of these, a lot of different state and federal agencies that look to support our county. And, as an example, there's been $300 million worth of requests that, landowners in this area, in this region, have needs, to deal with some of the water resource concerns and water quality. And so it's, one of the roles we play is to try to help prioritize with those other partners, like where the funding should go and what's the best fit for those groups. So the technical assistance grant has really helped us facilitate and be part of that. The last and final piece that's related I want to mention was what we're calling the White River Branding Project. That's a different project. It's been a partnership between Project Blue Ways, Destination Muncie, the Ball Brothers Foundations, and the Ziegler Foundation. And it's like a comprehensive effort to raise the profile of the White River in Muncie. It includes things, you might have seen them already, but like mile markers, some street signs, banners, a beautifully designed website that's just been recently completed that has maps, locations for canoe launches, different experiences that people can have to engage with the Muncie and Delaware County community, history of the White River. So I think it's going to turn out to be a really great resource for the community, just in terms of building awareness of our water resources like the White River, its history, its improvement, etc. So obviously with Claire, I just thank you for your time and support with the district, and we look forward to continuing these projects over the next year.
Thanks for the report.
Colby, for the record, can you state your last name?
Colby Gray.
Great, thanks.
How much did we give you last year?
25,000.
And it was 40,000 the year before.
No, it was 25,000 the year before, and we also got 25,000 from the stormwater fund.
Okay, thank you.
So these packets report on how much outside funding is leveraged per dollar of your financial support. So there's reports for 2025 and projected for 2026.
Thanks for the
I don't
good
recall
news
where
and-
the funding came from. I don't know where it came from in 24, but I don't remember where it came from in 25.
I think,
I think it was in.
John, help me out with
But
this.
when-
Ed, I believe this was in budget, correct? I believe this was in council's budget, and they cut the money for soil and water out of the budget. And so then, since that occurred, the commissioners tried to pay for it somewhere. Am
I
I?
remember something.
I think so, yeah. I think that's how that went. But I can't remember where that came from. Okay.
We'll have to do some digging and get back with you.
Okay,
Thanks
thank
for
you
the
very
update.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can research that payment and see where,
See
came
see where it came from.
right, and let you know.
All right.
I do have a suggestion, though.
Okay.
You'd mentioned that they hired a GIS technician. It sounds like they are doing a lot of work in that area. We could consider putting some layers within our beacon so the public can see that work that they're doing, and
Yeah,
something we could possibly do if the commissioners would want that information.
sounds good.
Website.
I'll make a motion, we table the request until we get more information.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes,
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, the Lee's here with the
Yep.
benefits of the premiums.
Good morning, Lee Royal, Human Resources. This morning, I need to discuss the medical premiums when our employees separate from the county. That's regardless if it's retirement, resignation, or termination. Benefits roll through the end of the month, and currently we are not double deducting on their last pay cycle. So we are not doing an agreement. This will be added to the handbook, and that needs to start occurring immediately.
So what's happening is if somebody is leaving within the first pay cycle of the month, their last pay cycle that they're getting premiums through, no premium is taken out. So the county is actually paying for that premium for that employee. So we had a meeting last week with the auditor's office and our benefits people and HR. So in order to stay consistent, everyone else that they deal with takes out, if you're out in that first cycle, they take out the premium for that entire month from employees. All the other counties do that they work with. So we just want to make sure we're complying with our plan, because currently our plan states if you aren't contributing to your premium, then you actually are terminated immediately. So technically the people whose premiums are not taken out shouldn't get coverage through the end of the month. So we need to make sure we're staying consistent with what our plan reads, which would be making sure on their last pay that the premiums are taken out for the entire month that they're getting the coverage through.
So we're going to make some clarification to the handbook language?
Yes, yep, at our quarterly update. Danielle and I will add that.
Okay.
for the
And this
double
is
deductions.
irrespective the reason for separation. This is retirement,
Correct.
any
Doesn't
reason,
matter. Yep.
termination,
The
anything.
carriers do not care as long as it's termination.
It's a pretty generous policy. My experience is benefits end at midnight, the date of termination, so this is a pretty generous policy.
Do we need to take action? Or wait till it comes up with the
technically is
handbook?
already in your plan. We wanted to make sure you guys were aware that it hadn't been done like that in the past, and we need to make sure we're consistent. So I don't know that any action needs to be taken, because that's what your plan actually states that you're supposed to be doing. But I mean, you're welcome to have a formal motion to address it. It's just,
Lee said that it was going to be addressed at the quarterly update or quarterly review of
Right.
the handbook. We could request a more expedient amendment. to address this
Let's vote on it now.
at our next meeting.
Let's do it right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
Yeah. And I'll second that with a clarification that there will be a handbook amendment on our agenda for 8/17.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes,
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.
thank you.
Now, we also have you under contracts and agreements. The unbundling.
Yes. Last meeting, we approved the unbundling of our medical, dental, and vision benefits. So today I'm here to discuss, we have two different options of how we want to move forward for 2027. Currently, we're an 80-20 split. We can keep that as is. However, if we change it, it would be an 18.86% increase to the employees, because they would now be adding those dental and vision, whereas before county was paying 100%. So we need to vote on what option we want to go with, leaving it at the 80-20 or making changes.
I'm in favor of option 2 for a couple of reasons. Number one, we said we weren't going to raise the premiums, and option 2 meets that commitment that we made. Also, some of the savings that we've experienced from our provider change from Apex to Marsh McLennan, we had estimated it was going to save the county about $800,000. It looks like we're on track to probably save $1.1 million. So there is a little bit of room in our budget, and I would be in favor of option 2 over option 1. And option 1, to be clear, would be to maintain the 80-20 split, which means there would be an increase in the employee's share. Option 2 would make it an 18.86% premium split for the employee, the balance being for the county. I'd make a motion to approve option 2.
Option 2.
Option 2,
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes,
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we have Cummins.
I'm here today to get approval to sign a 3-year contract with Aurelian, who is a AI non-emergency call answering service. You should have got the contract, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have, but I'm requesting permission to sign the agreement with them.
Explain how this would work.
So any non-emergency call that comes into the dispatch center would be answered by this new AI software. It does not handle 911 calls at all. There are several ways that you can set it up. We've chosen to set it up so if you ask to speak to a dispatcher once, you're automatically transferred to a dispatcher. Some systems currently, it takes 5 or 6 tries to do that because they're trying to weed out non-emergency calls, dog complaints, fireworks complaints, all that kind of stuff. We figured for the beginning, we would just leave it at 1 time if they ask to speak to a dispatcher, with the eventual goal of increasing that until people get used to it. It answers all non-emergency calls. It integrates with our CAD system to import calls directly into the CAD from the AI software. Madison County is using it. I did speak to them. They have great success with it. They eliminated most of their fireworks calls for July 4th. It never touched a dispatcher. The theory behind doing this is, as you guys got the study that we had done, we need 11 more people. We can't even get funded for 1. So the hope is this is going to reduce the workload on the dispatchers and allow them to focus more on the 911 calls.
And how will you pay for this?
That's going to be paid for out of the statewide 911 fund. Contingent on council approval, we have to do the appropriation request this month, so.
So there's something good about AI.
It is, it's a good system, and we're confident after the demonstration and conversations that this will be something that will improve the workload on the dispatch staff, so. This was something I was asked to do about 1.5 years ago, and we waited until they got all the bugs out of the system and got it.
What's the cost?
It's $85,000 a year, and the contract that's before you, they're holding the price for 3 years. I think, if I remember correctly, it increases 7% after that. according to the contract.
How many non-emergency calls do you receive a year? Do you know?
About 104,000.
Is that high for a county our size, or
It's
is that norm?
it is high. Understand that they take calls for really stupid stuff
Yeah.
that should never come into a dispatch center. And our call volume continuously goes up and up and up every year. So that's the concern.
Years ago, I did read about a county that when they had certain addresses keep popping, that they would send someone to the door and explain to them. And it really did help. And I think it was out in Kansas. But yeah, I know you don't have the manpower or woman power to do that, but it was something that they did.
There are people that abuse the system.
So $85,000 a year is roughly equivalent to what it would cost you for one person. If you take your salary plus benefits plus the 11.2% perf, vacation days, holidays, you're basically offsetting one person. Any idea how many of your 11 people short this will offset in call?
Until we actually have firm numbers, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I'd want to see how many calls it's actually taken care of.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we need a good year to figure that out.
I'm in favor of it. I had socialized a study that was done in Texas with Fred last year, and it's seen great success across the country. I'd be interested in legal's opinion of some of this language, specifically the termination section. Also, the order term Fred already mentioned. It's a 3-year price hold, and then it would automatically extend for successive 1-year periods at fees 7% higher than the immediate preceding year. So that's a locked-in 7% increase year over year in year 4, 5, 6, etc. There's also some regret language in here that if we don't like it within a certain amount of time, I think it's a year, we would be credited and prorated the amount for year 1. I would also be interested in knowing what legal thinks about where remedies are handled and dispute resolutions are handled, specifically the jurisdiction. But as a general statement, I'm in favor of it. I'm a big fan.
I've taken a look at the contract. I mean, it does have an automatic renewal language in it, which is something this board is not wild about. I'm a little concerned about the indemnification because Aurelian will only indemnify us for claims resulting in the gross negligence or willful misconduct of Aurelian. They're using a third-party vendor for their artificial intelligence. I was looking for that paragraph about the dispute resolution.
That would be highlighted. Sorry. I should have called it out. Remedies are
It's the
13.8.
Yeah.
And
And
dis-
the laws of the state of Washington govern the agreement. I don't like that. I mean, we're in Indiana. I think, and dispute resolution.
I haven't studied that federal rule of evidence, 408. Maybe it's a standard.
408 is just a rule that says that all settlement negotiations are confidential.
Okay.
It can't be used in any subsequent litigation. I don't mind the dispute resolution because it forces both parties to try and resolve it short of litigation, which is always a good thing. I often put mediation clauses in my contracts that require everybody to go to mediation before they file a lawsuit. Just forces people to try and have a discussion about it rather than going to court and incurring the litigation costs right away. So the dispute resolution, I don't have a real objection to.
Okay. And the $85,000 would, the first payment would be due 90 days after the order effective date, once we approve it. So it sounds to me like, I don't know if the automatic renewal is,
Well, let's do this, John. You want to see, you would like to see a little few changes in the agreement as well.
Yes.
This is a master service agreement. I'm sure they sent to everybody. What if we have legal review and make some corrections? Get with Fred. Fred, you get with your people and send it out to them and see what it looks like.
I'm good.
Good with that?
Yep.
Because I'm in favor of this too. I'd like to see it work.
So are you going to make the recommendation that once legal approves it, it's okay to sign?
I'd make that motion.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll make the motion to approve the Aurelian contract pending legal review and successful negotiation.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yep.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Fred.
I don't believe Mr. Chambers is
Yeah,
here, but
Don is off on a well-deserved day off today and tomorrow, so I will address this. What we have in front of us is a proposal. So chiller number 2, system 1 compressor replacement. This is just the compressor, not the chiller. I'll talk about the chiller in a second. Very detailed proposal in front of us, $39,735. And rather than taking that out of the maintenance fund for the county building here, I would propose that we were to take it out of edit and take it out of the capital projects fund number 12. We're basically running on, we have a redundant system, we're running on one and we don't have a backup right now.
is it a 2-day job? Have we talked about when they might do the work?
Yeah, the work can run concurrent with normal business hours because we're running on the backup system now, so we don't have to shut the building down for
Good.
any reason to do this. Again, it's $39,735, and my proposal is we take it from edit 12.
Here a second.
That's
That's your motion?
That's my motion.
I'll second it, and I'm going to state this one more time, if you don't mind delivering the message again, because I don't think it was heard the first time. This needs to be broken down more.
Okay.
We just have a bit amount. Now it does have all the work that's going to be completed, but I would like to see the bids come in with labor and also equipment prices,
Parts and labor.
parts and labor.
Okay.
Broken out specifically.
Yeah.
It is detailed
Yeah.
about what they're doing, and I like that, but I would like to see it broke down a little more.
Okay. So you'd like to see the bid amount shown in labor and parts and then a total.
Correct.
Yep. We'll take care of it.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.
And then follow up to that conversation, the boilers here need replaced. That came out in the DLZ assessment. We have our first estimate of $124,430 for the first boiler. We have one boiler that is somewhat of an emergency. So I believe for $124,430, we would need to take competitive quotes. Right, we don't necessarily have to put this out for bid because it's not over 150,000.
Correct.
Okay, so we will put this out for a bid. I'll work with Don to create a scope of work so that everybody's quoting the same.
And again, let's get it broke out so we can see what we're paying for.
I agree, but eventually we'll have to replace both. So if they're 125,000, this will be another 250,000, more than likely coming out of edit project 12 capital projects.
Understood.
Okay, I'll get that.
Need a motion on that?
No, that's just
Okay.
for deliberation in public.
Okay. The Muncie recovery.
We were contacted by the people running Muncie Recovery. When they were working on getting their insurance coverage, they ran into some issues because of the amount of coverage that they were required to maintain consistent with the lease agreement that they have with us. So Commissioner Brand and I have had several meetings with them regarding the insurance. We took a look at all of the standard insurance requirements for a facility like that was owned by a county. And we have worked through an agreement with them to modify some of their insurance coverage so that they can maintain insurance coverage on the facility on their end. And in lieu of doing that, we have modified the lease agreement amount and increased that. So this first amendment to the lease agreement reflects the new base rent for the initial term. And it also has the updated insurance amounts that they are going to provide on their end.
So an example, they had a liquor risk insurance rate on there, and there will be no liquor, so they wanted to take that off in exchange for changing some coverage amounts. Our primary concern was the total umbrella coverage because the county has zero experience, with a facility like this. So they were sensitive to that, and we changed the lease rate. We increased it $1.50 a square foot per year from $17 to $18.50 in exchange for the modified insurance limits.
I'll make a motion, we approve the agreement.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thanks. Okay. Mr. Thompson, Bridge 509.
So this is the NDOT coordination contract for Bridge 509, the PE phase. This is basically just saying that NDOT agrees to pay 80% of the cost of that, which is $544,000. We do have an amendment within that on top of that is covered through the MPO. So this is just the original funding amount, which was $680,000 that was scheduled for this project. So this is just the coordination between NDOT and the county. For that.
Yeah. Our matching funds have already been identified.
Correct, and they're budgeted.
Yep. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. Now, Mr. Thomas.
So
Walking
this next one is for a proposed study for State Road 28 and I-69. There's been some discussion on development in that area, extending from the county line to 600 west, from 700 north down to 500 north. And this is basically just a study that would go through traffic and planning at the interchange there at I-69. They would come up with some suggestions for highway accommodations if the highway is basically able to handle the traffic now or if it needs to be changed, along with some water resources, wastewater, and a few other miscellaneous pieces, basically just studying the feasibility of development within those areas.
And the 121,000 comes out of which budget?
I would recommend we take it out of Edit Project 4, Economic Development. That'd be my suggestion. And Commissioner Henry's been in a few meetings as well. One of our big restrictions out there is the ability for that highway to flow traffic. So 28's a 2-lane road underneath I-69, and large scale development won't materialize out there without improving the traffic flow. We've talked to NDOT about making 28 a 4-lane underneath 69. They said, we don't lead economic development, you do. So you basically, if we build it and it reaches some sort of a limit that can't be engineered around currently with some sort of a reasonable accommodation, such as turn lanes or roundabouts on both sides or something else, then they would consider it. So this study would make a recommendation to NDOT on what to do for the traffic out there. And in addition, the water supply and sanitary sewer.
Sanitary,
Yeah, those are 3 things that are holding back that intersection. And that's we have 3 fantastic intersections in Delaware County along I-69. and this one needs some help.
Could help Gaston also.
Absolutely.
I make a motion, we approve the agreement with Lock Mueller, paying it out of, edit, project number 4.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, now we have ordinances for first reading, ordinance number 2026-11.
President Reagan, may I make a request to modify the agenda here? We, at our last meeting, we had released a mowing RFP. And
I
those,
have that down for
you have it later?
2015,
Okay, so we'll open the bids later?
I guess so.
Okay, that's fine, thank you.
I was not in that meeting, so. But ordinance for adjustment of pay periods for the year of 2026. Anybody want to speak on behalf of
Yes,
this?
this is an ordinance that we've drafted, at the request of the commissioners to change the pay periods for the year 2027 to the 15th and last day of the month, changing instead of every 2 weeks, just twice a month. That way, you have a set number of pay periods per year, 24, instead of sometimes you have 26, sometimes you have 27, and we're having to modify that about every 3 or 4 years. I think I've done it 3 times during my tenure as a county attorney, so this would adjust it so that it's a set schedule for everybody to understand that there are 24 pays in a year. And this would start in 2027.
Auditor's office feedback.
We're gonna check with the, as Fred brought it up earlier, but we're gonna check with the time clock company. Fred recalls a conversation about their suggestion not to do it. We don't remember the reasons why, so we're gonna find out what the reasons were. But, we'll get back to you what issues those created.
That's with right stuff.
Correct.
So do we need to table it, or?
You can at least introduce it if you want to, and then
We should.
we can modify it if necessary, or you can reject it if it comes back that there's a problem.
I would agree. I'll make a motion to introduce it.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes, thank you. Ordinance number 2026-12, an ordinance to amend Title 5, Chapter 14 of the Delaware County Code regulating activities within public roadways. Permits.
This is an ordinance that I revised from the last one. This is for a roadway use permit. The engineering office and the highway department often get a lot of requests from various individuals, including utility companies and whatnot, to dig in the roadway. And this would only affect the roadway and roadway use. Doesn't affect anything with regard to the right of way. It just talks about the roadway. And I removed virtually all the references to the right of way except for a couple. But you can't plant a tree that would interfere with the road in the right of way. Or you can't put billboards up that would interfere with the vision on the roadway itself, but everything else deals with the roadway. And it sets the bonds, what the bonds are for them to dig in the roadway, what the costs for the permit fee are, if there's additional engineering that's necessary, that the applicant pays for that engineering. And this, once again, only deals with the use of the roadways themselves.
I did notice on page 4, the residential would pay $50 for a new mailbox installation. And then
That doesn't change. That's the current
well,
ordinance itself.
then I saw on the commercial, we only charge them $20.
$200, actually. It should be $200.
Yeah,
Oh, the tap, I see
Yeah,
that.
I have to change the font size to
I
that.
wonder.
yeah, the formatting of that box has it wrapped text instead of unwrapped
Yeah,
text.
okay, thank you. What's your pleasure?
Any comments from engineering?
This was just basically a repeat of what we mentioned one of the meetings previous this year, but it's basically taken out all the issues we had with the right-of-way, because we're, like I say, not super concerned with the right-of-way. We're mainly concerned with keeping the conditions of our road in good condition without having to put repair burdens on the taxpayers of Delaware County. So if we can, like I say, basically keep track of all these utility companies and what they're doing with the roadway, that is what this is intended for.
Try to get their attention.
Make a motion to introduce.
Motion introduced.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Ordinance number 2026-13, an ordinance to amend an ordinance regulating traffic on certain public streets in Delaware County.
This is an ordinance requested by the engineering and the highway department. It would create an all-way stop at County Road 775 South and its intersection with Old Road, and all-way stop at County Road 1000 North and 500 West located in Washington Township. An all-way stop at the intersection of Willoughby Street and 30th Street located in Center Township. An all-way being the new term for four-way stop, or how many ever roads come in. At County Road 550 South and County Road 461/462 East. And an all-way stop at the corner of Walnut Street and Fusion Road located in Center Township. Also creates a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit on Shindell Road between 500 East and Clifton Road, and 40 miles between Clifton Road and Sharp Bend Road. Go down. There'll be a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit on County Road 100 West between State Road 28 and County Road 800 North. 40-mile-an-hour speed limit on County Road 450 West between State Road 28 and 850 North. In Harrison and Washington Townships, a speed limit of 30 miles an hour on County Road 600 East, also known as Pittenger Road between Smithfield Pike and Selma town limits. A speed limit of 30 miles per hour on Shockley Road between State Road 3 and 200 East in Monroe Township. There shall be a speed limit of 35 miles per hour on 300 South between 35 and County Road 200 East in Monroe Township. A speed limit of 35 miles per hour on Priest Ford Road between State Road 32 and Burke Mill Road, and between Burke Mill Road and River Valley Road in Mount Pleasant Township. There shall be a speed limit of 40 miles per hour on Bell Creek Road between 200 South and County Road 500 South in Mount Pleasant, Salem Townships. There shall be a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit on River Road between County Road 600 West and County Road 775 West in Mount Pleasant Township. Speed limit of 40 miles an hour on County Road 600 South between 560 East and around off County Line in Perry Township. Speed limit of 40 miles an hour on 700 South between 540 East and the Randolph County Line in Perry Township. There shall be a speed limit of 40 miles an hour on County Road 800 South between State Road 35 South and Randolph County Line in Perry Township. A speed limit of 30 miles per hour on Puglia Road between State Road 67 and County Road 600 South in Salem Township. Shall be a speed limit of 35 miles an hour on Honey Creek Road between State Road 67 and County Road 700 South in Salem Township. A speed limit of 40 miles an hour on 500 West between 850 North and Jonesboro Road in Washington Township. And a speed limit of 40 miles an hour on County Road 1000 North between State Road 3 and 850 North in Union and Washington Townships in Delaware County.
Thank you, well done.
Dean, any comments?
The only comment I had was the intersection of Walnut and Fuson. We did a traffic study on that one and found some wreck information, and there were 22 wrecks at that intersection in the last 5 years, which is why that one is basically being considered for a four-way stop.
Well, this has been in progress. We've talked about this for quite some time. Several of these intersections and speed limits. I'll make a motion. We introduce ordinance 2026-013.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Now, there'll be a public hearing on the next meeting, August 17th, concerning these. We'll send the notice over to the newspaper to get that published. And so anybody affected by these can come and state whether they like it or don't like it, or give input to the commissioners before you can adopt it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, ordinance number 2614, ordinance to vacate an unimproved platted alleys in an improved section of Second Street in the county of Delaware County.
Yes, this was, you had a public hearing at the last meeting about vacating two alleys, I think it is, and Second Street on the former plat of the town of Mount Summit from 150 years ago or so. And there was nobody here that voiced any objection to it. And so this is the introduction of ordinance 2614 to vacate two alleys for this one single property owner. And then Second Street for this property owner and two property owners to the, I think it's maybe one or two property owners to the south.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion to introduce for the plat for the town of Mount Pleasant.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Ordinance 2026-15, ordinance amending Chapter 3, 5 related to grass and weeds for Delaware County, Indiana.
This is an ordinance to amend the weed and mowing ordinance for the county, to update it, because I don't think it's been updated for a while. And it give notice to the property owner for the fee of $150 and the fee of $500 if they don't mow it. Notice can be served by the health department, building commissioner, sheriff's office, or the commissioner's designee. And they will be required to mow. If they don't, then the county could mow the property and then assess it and put a lien on the property.
What year did that take place, John? You remember?
Well, I see part of it was done in 1972 originally.
1972.
The last amendment to that ordinance was 2008-21A.
Right.
And I believe, and this is just for introduction, but I believe that the health department had given some significant feedback late in the week last week. So
You're correct.
this will give them an opportunity to review and integrate that as necessary.
I want to, I don't know if that was sent to, was that sent to legal?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look, but I'm gonna forward you the emails we got from, Mr. Bain. And, yeah, we may have to put something in there in reference to some of the,
Some of the clarifications.
yes. So I'll make a motion to introduce.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, under old business. I don't know if we need this.
So
all
contractor
of
permits, I think we just introduced that.
Right.
So we can remove that from old business. Township annual reports, last update we had, Perry Township, we were still waiting on them to submit. I don't know if they've submitted or not. So we're still waiting on Perry Township. Under township standards and guidelines, we found discrepancies with those townships that had submitted. The tables, Jenna spent a fair amount of time and put together a spreadsheet showing that there were discrepancies. There was a question about if these townships needed to follow the state guidelines or if they could basically follow their own guidelines in terms of income levels to qualify, and then if you qualify, the assistance levels that are offered. I wasn't sure if there was a way that each individual township could make up their own based on population, income. I don't know what that is, but we were also going to then communicate back to the townships that there are discrepancies.
And we have a memo that'll be coming to you guys soon. We've been working on.
Okay, so we expect a memo there, and then once we look at that memo, it could be distributed to the township
Correct.
trustees, right? And we have 11 township trustees. The junk vehicle ordinance, that's still waiting on input from the commissioners. I know, Sherry, you wanted to add something about boats and campers and trailers and some things like that, but legal's basically waiting on anyone that wants to add to that. So if you can provide your feedback on that, we can try to get this moved into official business. 2815 South Monroe Street. I don't recall the status of where we left that.
I thought 2815 South Monroe, was that the one that's not ours, not in our name?
Chris Young.
We double check that. I think that along with the one on, there's another one for a property,
Yeah,
1943 West 8th Street was
Right.
all part of the discussion we had last time about adjacent property owners. And we're in the process of identifying all those properties that could go to adjacent property owners. And then doing the master notice to everybody and then doing that. So I think those two properties are part of that whole program.
Okay.
I think you're right.
Request for resolution to
Yeah.
close County Road 312 East. That was from Mr. Markwell.
Right.
We were contacting landowners and looking at ownerships and,
We are waiting on some information from the title company on that one.
okay.
Okay.
So if we do vacate that road, once we vacate it, who owns it? We give it to the adjoining landowners and then they can do with it what they want, if they want to gate it or do whatever.
Well, what we're waiting on is determination from the title company as to whether we have a fee simple ownership interest in that land or whether we just have a right-of-way use for transportation. If it's only a right-of-way use, which I suspect it may be, then one half would go to the property owner on the east side, one half on the west side.
And then if they wanted to block the road at that point, it's up to
Yes.
them.
Yep.
Right, because there was talk about us putting up a gate. We don't
Right.
want to put up a gate, but, and it wouldn't even be our prerogative to put up a gate. If we don't own it anymore, it's up to the
Right.
landowners. Okay.
We only own it in the sense that we get to own it to use it for, if what I think is gonna happen, what the title company is gonna tell us. So our ownership would, if we decide to abandon, just like we did County Road, what is it, 200 South or 200 West?
200 West,
Right. Once we abandon it, then it reverts to the adjacent property owners.
right, okay. All right, and then 27 was Mr. Robinson. He actually showed up at the last meeting, but we didn't have an update. So right now we're waiting to see about the adjacent property.
And we've communicated with him
With
and
him.
given him an update. On the ones that are on this list that we already know of, we can include them when you do your public hearing at the next meeting, when you're doing the Muncie Land Bank properties, if you're okay with that, since these requests have been pending. That was kind of our thought, is we would go ahead and take care of these while we're working on the master list, or if you'd rather wait on those couple, we can wait.
Let's go ahead and add those into
Yeah.
it.
Okay, that was the plan, and that's how we were
Yep.
moving forward, since they've been waiting and had already been identified.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Are we planning that public hearing for the 17th of August, or are we looking at September?
We were doing August 17th.
Okay.
Two public hearings that day.
Yep. So the travel policy, I was asked to share that by Commissioner Henry at the last meeting. I have not done that yet. I've made a couple of revisions based on people asking questions and giving me feedback. So
Let's do it at the employee meeting next week.
that's what I was going to recommend, that
Yeah.
in our meeting next Monday, our
Yeah.
staff meeting, we'll talk about it there.
Yep.
The weed ordinance, I think that can come off now of old business now that we've introduced it up above. Form 144s, we were asked by the auditor's office to look at the Form 144s. I did take a fair amount of time and reviewed them. I've made some notes, and I will get with the auditor's office to ask my questions, but in general, I don't know that we have the authority to make any changes or do anything. I don't know if there are any other comments on Form 144s. Otherwise, we can remove this, Jenna, from old business. And then the ADA compliant agenda, we found out that there were some new rules put in place. Our agenda wasn't necessarily compliant, specifically the header. I know Brooke Strubel's looking into that for us plus some others. And I think Jenna and Kyle maybe did a little playing around with creating, I think what's in front of us today is about as ADA compliant as we've seen. So we put this in the format that we believe is the best. I think that is it for old business.
I'd like to add our RFP for the request for insurance at the bottom there.
Okay, so for USI,
Yes,
you're talking about the liability insurance?
yes.
Yep. There is an RFP that was formalized by Brooke Struble. We have a copy of that. You guys are ready to send this out. I know that there's at least one local company that would like a shot at our liability insurance, and a few others have raised their hands. So if you guys are okay with issuing this RFP, we can have legal send it out.
That's your motion.
Yep.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes. Thank you very much. Under department heads, elected officials, right, Mr. Stoltz?
Ryan Stoltz, IT supervisor. I'm just here to give some updates to some of the meeting or some of the projects we've been working on. The failover project, which is the big one we're focusing on right now, is for when we have things like storms. The other buildings will still be able to reach the county building resources because that's where they're all stored right now. We spoke with a company called Fortinet. They are looking at over $100,000 a year for their solution. AT&T has a LTE failover that will connect to the cell network if the regular internet goes down. Currently, we have AT&T and Comcast in like the Justice Center and here. So we're looking at using Comcast as the failover. AT&T is currently our main, and using some different appliances that will do that for free. So once we buy the appliances, we don't have to pay a monthly subscription or a yearly maintenance or anything like that. We set it up and it's done. So that's the solution we're looking at. I don't have pricings for that yet. That's the one that I need to put all the pieces together, figure out exactly what we need to purchase to get all the buildings that way.
Is this into to the response of what happened last week or week before?
When we lost power?
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yep. So I will have, it should be for the 17th meeting, I should have a proposal for that to purchase the equipment and get that situated. The Cisco power supply backup project, they've all been ordered. We're just waiting on them to come in stock. They've been out of stock with the manufacturer. So once they come in, we'll have those and that'll be completed. The building blueprints. So we got these iPads and all that. I've been waiting. I've been kind of fighting with Apple Business Manager, trying to get us set up with Apple Business Manager so that we can actually maintain the iPads. We have them under a mobile device management with Apple Business Manager now. So that is all finally complete. So we will start with the county building on getting blueprints done. And I will likely probably start that this weekend. I'm going to try to get like the main hallways and stuff when nobody's here so that I can do it without interference essentially. And then we'll get individual offices as we're open. The wireless project is essentially complete. I have 3 more access points to install. One at CASA, one at YOC's juvenile court and the juvenile probation area. Those just haven't been installed yet. I haven't had a chance to get out there. I would like to do that when I do the blueprints for those areas as well, so we can just take care of it all at once. So it's been kind of delayed. And then the help desk software, I want to talk about that. So we launched the new help desk software. We got rid of our old one, which was SpiceWorks, and we were paying for it. This is an on-prem hosted, so we take care of it. There's no fees, which saves us not a lot, but like $300-400 a year. I mean, it's not a lot, but again, it was a wasted set of money. We didn't need to spend it. This will also allow us to have maintenance requests put in. So instead of just IT requests, people will be able to log in and say, like, if they need something done in their office, like with electrical work, plumbing, whatever, they'll be able to put those tickets in as well. So we'll be able to also track maintenance tickets, which the reporting section is not completed on that. But once that is completed, you guys will all receive monthly and yearly reports for both IT and maintenance. And we do have some other potential plans of maybe adding auditors and HR, which we'll have to get with them for certain forms and things that people can fill out. They'll be able to submit that online through our system so that there's a complete record of it.
Very good.
So those are just going to be additions for later. And then the one that everybody's most curious about, the Microsoft 365 project. We have now got delawarecounty.in.gov linked with our Microsoft 365. The goal is this week we're going to be working with the IT staff. I'll be talking with them, setting up a plan. We're going to likely roll it out throughout the offices, do a handful of offices at a time, spend like an entire week with those offices so we can train them, show them all the features. And then that way we can slowly roll it out, and we can also host like monthly meetings for all the offices that have changed, or the ones that are about to change can come in and we can host them up here or something so people can see it on the monitors. That will all be planned out by the end of this week. That's the goal, so we can figure out exactly when we're going to move forward. I got to still work with the Microsoft team to figure out the best way to do this as far as license purchases. I don't know if we're going to try to have either the commissioners or IT use edit funds to start the first year maybe, or something like that. So that is all. The goal is to figure out if we buy all the licenses at once, buy them in stages, however we're going to do that. So that is all planned this week. And then I believe that's it.
Seems like you've been very busy.
Yes.
Appreciate all your work.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the work order system specifically for IT and maintenance. This will help us establish trends so we can put corrective actions in place to hopefully reduce those unexpected calls.
Mhm.
Good job. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Mr. Polk.
Good morning, Brad Polk, Delaware County Treasurer. Here to talk about the Board of Finance. We need to set up an executive session, or not executive, I'm sorry, a special meeting to go ahead and approve what we had amended just a couple months ago. We made some amendments, and then so I don't know that we ever took a formal vote on that. So we need to do that.
So we did that, was it June 22nd?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So we need to look at our calendars and establish a special meeting. Was there already a date floated around for that? Do you guys remember?
I remember.
We have to give.
Don't believe so.
Only takes 48 hours notice, so you can do it 8:45 on the 17th if you want. I wouldn't think that this would take longer than
It would.
a few minutes.
That's
Probably
an idea.
5 minutes.
I think, yeah, we've done that
Okay.
before.
Does it need to be done before that? The 17th is the third Monday of the month.
I think we would be okay.
So this is about the interest coming from
Yes.
Delaware County Community Corrections and the Drainage Board,
Right.
right?
It's to give it, let them have access to.
Can you give us a status update? Delaware County Community Corrections is in place? And
It is in place. With the surveyor, that one is not yet done. Now that we have set one up, it's going to be pretty easy. We just need to know the amount that they want to start that with.
Okay.
But I would probably suggest that we wait till the 7th, whenever the special meeting is. And then we can get that done that day, probably.
So we'll notice a special meeting. So we'll have public hearing and special meeting ahead of our regular meeting on the 17th.
Correct.
Okay.
Sounds good.
That timeline's good for you, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, 17th's fine. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other departments? Seeing none, the payment of claims of $3,311,466.77.
I think, President Reagan, did you have some questions? You had some sticky notes on a few of those claims.
Yes, I did.
Madam President, before we do the claims, we've got some bids here for mowing that we need to open up.
Oh, sure.
I don't know if it made the agenda, but they were due in my office last Friday, I think, and so we've
go ahead.
received 4 of them.
Are you ready?
We are.
First one is Smith Family Services on West Jackson Street in Muncie.
This is for the on-call mowing RFP.
Correct. There is a lot of detail. Do you want me to go over every?
No,
line
is
item?
there,
I'll
is
just
there,
do
is there an hourly rate or
There are a lot of different,
rates?
It was
Uh-huh.
pretty detailed because
Do you-
we did trash removal, we did weed control, we did
it may
mowing.
be easier if we
debrushing.
put
Let-
these
let's-
to a graph and circulate them. There are 2 pages of,
I would,
These.
yeah, I would recommend, let's just read the names of the people who, submitted bids and then let them put it in the form of a spreadsheet and review it again next meeting.
okay, we'll do that. The second one is All Seasons Landscaping on Hoyt Avenue in Muncie. They're all consistent. Same pages of bids in there. The next one is Bailey's Landscape and Excavation on County Road 300 East in Muncie.
How do you spell Bailey?
Bailey.
Thanks.
The same pages in there. This last one is A&S Roofing Services on Hackley Street in Muncie. Has nothing to do with the mowing. So
So we have 3 mowing.
we have
resp-
3 mowing bids.
Smith Family, All Seasons, and Bailey.
Correct.
Okay, and you're gonna put together a spreadsheet, and our responsibility is to accept the lowest responsive and responsible bidder.
Correct.
Make a motion, we take those bids under advisement.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Okay. Go back to my payment of claims.
Did you want to ask questions from those sticky notes that you had on some of
No,
those?
it's something that, well, this one for the, First Merchants, it had a principal of, $129,000 and then the interest. But when you came over here, it had it at $133,000. So I don't know why the printing was different.
So,
I hate to bother people on a Sunday afternoon, but
so it was $129,000 even plus $67,551.80. That would total $195,572.45, which is what the claim is for. Actually, you know what? Did I do that math right? No, yeah, 196,572.45. So I believe it's correct.
So do you have, while she's looking at that, do you have a breakdown? I know there's a lot of bond payments.
There were a lot of bond payments.
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and read these while President Riggins looking through her notes. So we had State Board of Accounts, pretty low there. This is for some of the towns, $3,977. We had some various legal and admin fees, $12,890. We spent $38,947 out of various edit that was previously approved in commissioner meeting. I think one of the questions that Commissioner Riggin may have had was for Violytics. This is the system that we are now using to replace our road rating system, formerly known as Pacer, and that amount was $58,818.
yes, could we stop there then?
Sure.
Why did Cume Bridge pay for that, not the highway? That was my question.
As far as the exact funds that came out of, we'll pay upfront the full amount. We'll get reimbursed 80% through planning stuff with Kylene's office. And then as far as which fund it came out of on that, I don't have a good answer for that.
I believe Carrie directed where the fund comes from. So my assumption is it's consistent with years in the past.
I would agree.
Maybe a bad assumption, but that's my assumption.
No, that could be, I just
Okay.
curious.
We paid $300,000 to the town of Yorktown out of the Morrison TIF. That's for an economic development project known as the Oliver. Indian American Water Company, this was another question, President Riggin, I believe you had. There was a single bill for a single meter of $7,587, and you had made a note that you were going to
That's
call
one.
them.
I will call them today.
Okay.
I just didn't know if somebody else knew some.
Jury
And
duty.
this does bring up something, excuse me, on the invoice line where there's room to type, I'd like to have the location, like Fair Board, the cattle barn, or the highway, water, on this description over here. If that'd be possible.
So what President Riggin has is the utilities. Typically, there are 2 claims each month that have various utilities on them.
Right.
So
If we just have the location, like at the fairgrounds, it might be up east or,
So right now, the invoice number is copy and pasted
just
over into the
copy.
description
Right.
is what,
right.
okay.
And it would take someone a little bit longer to type it in. But it would answer my questions.
$1,171.90 for jury duty. Here come the TIF payments. Nebo Land Partners, $124,137.50. That's to First Merchants Bank. That might be for that roundabout out there. I need to look into that detail. There's a Daleville bot. Came out of the Daleville TIF, $100,518.72. That's to First Merchants Bank. Progress Rail bond, $119,665.65. That's Star Bank. Daleville bond, this is separate from the bot that I read a minute ago, $156,279.48. That's also to Star Bank. The Park One bond capital, $196,572.45. That's First Merchants Bank. And then we have 2 for Morrison Road in a row here. Both are the Old National for the 2021 bond. One is for $78,120. The other one is for $254,807.50. And then we have the Fountain Square TIF. That's for CanPac. This is a pretty sizable one, $1,463,245.93. That is to Old National. That's for the Series A bond, and we have a 75% agreement with CanPac, so 25% comes back to the TIF. CanPac gets 75% credit. Then there are New Tucson Tool and Park Tucson. This is for Mercix, $177,796.52. Also to Old National, and this one will now be fully funded. In the past, when this bond fell short, the taxpayers were not burdened with this. Mercix had to write a check, typically $20,000 to $30,000 a year, and this will be the first year that that one is made whole. And those are my updates. Turn your mic back on.
I'll make a motion, we pay the claims.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes. Payment of credit cards, $301.70.
Was that in there?
Hi, Tanya Dunsmore, Chief Deputy Auditor. This is the one credit card that differs from everyone else's that's through DCCC, and you asked that that be put on separately from now on, so that's what that is.
Thank you.
Whether they sent their proof as requested by the commissioners, I'm not sure. Jenna would probably have that information.
This is just the Thrive credit card?
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is current for what's in our folder here. So anybody in red had credit card claims but didn't submit substantiation, right? So we have. Yep. Yep. And we had a situation at the fairgrounds where the fairgrounds was using the credit card and paying tax. It was questioned why the county pays tax. And I think that one's on hold. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, still 5 departments that didn't submit substantiation.
This is the Thrive card, though. I'll make a motion, we pay the Thrive card.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Payment of $4,325.
I'll make a motion to approve. These are for Unique Computer Solutions.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes. Payment of payroll of July 29th, $1,069,883.16.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes, thank you. Now it's the time for the public, the ones that have signed up. Yenser of Muncie.
Already at the time.
Rick Yenser, newsman and author. Since you're timing me, I'd remind you under the Constitution we have the right to speak. I am grateful that this government has finally complied with open records by providing copies of your resolution, your ordinances to the public at the meeting. That's the law. And I've said this, I don't know how many times, how many groups. But while we were listening to the business of the day, let me tell you about just what you signed into by using AI at 911. Aurelian's a Seattle-based startup founded just 4 years ago by a couple of kids, Max Keenan and James Liu. They used to design software for hair salons, but somebody complained about they had to wait on the phone too long just for 911. I would hope that your legal staff does a little bit more investigation of this, not just because it's AI, but this company isn't that long. What they did, like I've seen a lot of tech and other new start businesses, they go to the stock market, they go borrow money from some fiduciary, and then they start off on this adventure. And this adventure is providing AI to 911 throughout the country. Now, you didn't identify the third party, and I will point out one of the people to own this company is James Liu. I want to know just where the software is coming, whether it's coming from the United States, China, or anywhere else in this world. And again, I think that you might want to wait and just see how this works, regardless of what your neighbors are saying. And the thing that you mentioned about developing 2869, was a lost intersection a long time ago because there wasn't any utility out there. And you can see our neighbors up north, Grant County, they got utilities out there, and they've got all the warehouses. And down by Daleville, they've got utilities, and they've got all the truck stops. I had heard, I've got paper on one of the transactions out there of property, and it seems that there's a lot of buying and selling property out there. Now, I don't know if it's for data centers or what kind of business, but you're right that until there's transportation and utilities out there, that's just going to be what it always was. And again, I hope too, not only just the records that you make public, I hope you start making the contracts public too, because a couple of Ball State students finally got the attention of public access counselor, who is now investigating the city of Muncie for not providing public documents. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay. Chad Thornburg.
Chad Thornburg. I can't do this in 3 minutes, but basically I inherited a property line dispute, and the property line happens to be a quarter section line for the county. And my father, which was a former surveyor, asked the current surveyor at the time, you know, hey, this is a quarter section line. It's actually not only my line, it's also the county's line. And basically the county didn't do it. And then the dispute over the 6 feet had drug on for over 13 years. So what I'm here is to ask now for the county to take some responsibility in this property line dispute that's not only the plaintiff and the defendant, but it's also the county. Like I say, it's not just a random property line, it's a quarter section line for Delaware County. And there's a program, and like I say, the former surveyor knew there was a program for marking, you know, survey lines, your quarter sections, your full and your half sections. And some of them are even visible today. You know, at crossroads, you'll see like a medallion. And like I say, this could have, if the surveyor then, I don't even have the name, but if they would have, you know, basically said, yeah, we'll identify our quarter section line and eliminate this dispute between you and your neighbors, it wouldn't have drug on for 13 years.
Do you have an address or a road or a crossroad or?
No, I could,
It's off of Clifton Road. I know where it is. I represented Mr. Thornburg in, to get the matter to a conclusion. I wasn't there at the beginning. I just finished it up. It's there off of Clifton Road, north of, well, there's an addition that goes back in a driveway not too far from Shindell Road, about quarter mile or so west of Shindell Road, approximately. I would suggest that because I have a conflict, my office has a conflict, that we have another attorney, Meeks Cockrell from Randolph County, take a look at it and see what the county's responsibility is, if any.
And let's say the county does have responsibility, the surveyor has to take action?
That I don't know.
Okay. Well, the request was for the surveyor to mark the quarter marks and.
yeah, that would have been and I mean, Defer Varan would have the record of that, but that probably was in, about 2014, I'm gonna guess. Because my father had a survey done in 2012, and then he took that basically to the surveyor and said, hey, can you back me up? You know, it's your line too, and that didn't happen. And then, like I say, it's just now been settled.
Well, we hope to get this settled.
I would, you want us to make a motion on that? You have hire Meeks
Yes, we'd
Cockrell.
like to work-
I'll make that motion to hire Meeks Cockrell and have them look into the county, the steps the county has to do next.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry,
Yes,
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Plummer.
Next person, Rita Faulkner.
I wasn't going to speak, I was going to pass, but I was just going to say, you were talking about the ADA rules, changing the heading of the agenda. I was just wondering why you don't have the date on the heading. You do have it on the
I think
second
that was
page.
just an error.
Okay, I'm
I
pointing out
caught
that
that
error.
yesterday and it was too late, but thank you very much. Okay. Anybody else? Commissioner Brand?
So we talked a few months ago about issuing an RFP for the Justice Center roof. I'm pleased to report that probably for the last maybe 2 months, even during some of our heavy rainstorms, we've been avoiding leaks inside the property room and inside O-Dorm and inside the Justice Center. So our maintenance team and McGuff Roofing have done a great job identifying those short-term solutions, but we have a very detailed RFP that's going to be going out soon. So hopefully we'll have that on our agenda for 8/17 to review and approve the issuance of that roof RFP. Our county engineer notified us last week that we've received $459,009.99 for the lane mile direct distribution, part of the CCMG grant. Now that will detract from the $1 million that we have available, and we probably don't have the bandwidth to utilize those funds this year. So I think that we should debate or deliberate here in real time the potential of saving this money to be used in 2027 for matching funds as opposed to trying to shoehorn it in this year. I would like to hold this money until 2027. You guys in agreement?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. All right. The know before training, still pretty delinquent. Last report I have, we had 82 users incomplete, 83% completed. And just a reminder that IT is authorized now by the commissioners. Once the deadline hits, access will be cut off for those folks, and they'll have to go see IT to get caught up on their training, to get their credentials and their access turned back on. Hyde Park cleanup. I believe it was Heather Williams came and asked, the commissioners agreed to supply up to $5,000 to do a Hyde Park cleanup. This was one of the first cleanups I'm aware of in the county. I was glad to see things get started. There were a few landowners out there that were trying to motivate their neighbors to get out and do something. While it was probably less than what we would have liked to have seen, it was something nonetheless. But I just wanted to report that the dumpings at ECI, the highway department went out there and picked things up. So we did spend money with the highway department personnel, equipment, but the actual tipping fees at ECI of the $5,000 was $146.10. So that effort fell a little bit short of what our hopes were. We also were notified as it relates to the gasoline use tax and the gasoline excise tax that our governor suspended to try to keep our gasoline prices low. There was a big concern about we would be missing those funds that could help with our local roads and streets and our MVH fund. But on July 21st, the Indiana Board of Finance unanimously approved the first reimbursement request where they'll cover those revenue losses. So those occurred during the period from April 8th through May 31st. So we will be receiving those funds. So we'll be able to continue with the projects that we already had planned and we had already earmarked those funds for. No need to update there. This was news to me. The first part's not news. There's been a roundabout proposed, and I'll even say planned, for US 35 South and County Road 300 South. That's out there by the old ACO par 3 golf course. There was a terrible accident out there motorcycle accident that took a couple folks from us. But we were notified that in the interim, they're going to put up an always stop. I wasn't aware of that. We just got this notice, and it says that it really doesn't have a timeline for when that always stop. No, it does say, sorry,
Pretty soon, I think.
on or after August 6th. They're gonna turn that into an always stop. So it's already a two-way stop on 300 South to cross 35, but it looks like they're gonna stop 35 coming north and south.
It seems like that's NDOT's
Protocol.
protocol at this point. That's kind of what happened up at 3 Indiana Avenue.
Yeah, and that changed the dynamics of that intersection completely.
Oh, absolutely.
To the extent that the people don't want the roundabout now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've started giving just a handbook reminder. I think I talked about smoking policy in the last one. I just want to remind folks about our solicitation and non-solicitation policies. Section 7.12 in the handbook, which is prohibition against solicitation of employees for private business during work hours. That's on page 100 of our current handbook. And section 8.9, solicitation and distribution of materials on page 115. It carries over to 116. And I will just say for the record, I think that's an area that we need to strengthen during our quarterly review. Also, the county council, if you watched or attended that last meeting, you'll see that they took action on the municipal unit strategic task force, what's called the MUST. So this is a result of the state legislature changing the local income tax laws. Basically, the special units of local income tax go away. So judges, jail, public safety, economic development income tax, that all rolls into a general lit. And the legislature put forth a potential process to pull in all the different towns and cities and their financial folks to do this. So we're targeting August 18th at 4 o'clock in this room for a public meeting of the MUST task force, and it will be live streamed. And County Councilman Matt Kantz was identified by the County Council to lead that MUST task force, and I will be supporting from the commissioners. Also, Corporal Blake Reynolds, that was killed in the line of duty out on 69. The roads and interim committee, they're meeting tomorrow at the State House at 10 o'clock in the House chamber to discuss a road renaming request. So we're trying to get a mile marker out on I-69. I think it's right around mile marker 247, identified as the Blake Reynolds Memorial Mile. And again, that will be heard in committee tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we'll talk real quick about training. We've had some folks that work directly with the commissioners starting to take some supervisor training and skills gap training. And also we sent our maintenance superintendent, Don Chambers, to Programmable Controller Systems 1 training at Ivy Tech, and he got his certification. And this allows him to work on our controllers, on our building system controllers directly, and hopefully not have to call people in so often and save the taxpayers money. So we spent, $400 or $500 getting him trained up, and one service call cost you $1,200. So trying to get our folks internally trained up. Also, our maintenance building and ground superintendent, Don Chambers, has reported to the commissioners a couple times that the supplies stored in the lower level of this building seem to disappear without record, and it's his responsibility to keep them stocked. So he gets a call and says, "Hey, we're out of trash bags," and he says, "Hey, I just bought 4 boxes of them 2 weeks ago." So he asked if we could start locking up the supplies in the basement. I think that's a reasonable request. He's already identified the area. Just going to require some rearranging of some items downstairs. It won't cost any money, but those supplies will be locked up, and then somebody's going to have to go through the request process or contact maintenance to get in there.
And he did that out at the Justice Center.
And he did it out at the Justice Center too for the same reason.
Yeah.
We are also going to create a human resources manual. This is part of standardizing our processes and procedures. Examples would be, how do we handle unemployment claims, just to make sure we have a checklist, we're following things consistently, we're doing the same every time. how do we handle workers' comp claims. There are probably 50 processes in human resources that we will create a process and a standardized checklist. We'll create this human resources manual. Everyone will be handled the same way. The substantiation, the documentation will go in the employee records. And then if there's ever a legal situation later, we have defensible records that we can produce. We followed a standardized process. We treated everybody the very same way. So I'm excited to work with Elizabeth Wilcox and Lee Royal to create a human resources manual. And then we have a stormwater board meeting right after this meeting. It probably won't start until 11 o'clock. And those are all my updates.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes, Brad Fisher, the Lynn Town Marshal, was killed last week in the line of duty. Several of our emergency responders, police, fire, EMS, EMA, the 911, everybody, his body was transported over here for an autopsy. Several of our units participated in that, and then also transported him back to Randolph County. And then the funeral was Sunday, yesterday, and several units participated in that. We sent an ambulance over for a while, but I just want to thank you guys for stepping up and doing that, and honoring Mr. Fisher the way you guys did. And anyone that went outside here to stand by the road, or anybody in the county that stood by the road to honor him, I think it's very important, and I just want to say thank you for that. On September 15th from 10 to 2, the veterans will have their stand down event at Heartland Hall. So any veteran can go to the fairgrounds on that day and get some services for free that's provided. And I'm sure they're going to provide lunch, and it's a very good event, and it's good for the veterans. In the last few days, last week, it kind of started, we've received an email about an individual who was injured at the fairgrounds. I don't know anything about it. I'm guessing you guys don't either. Just from research and reading through the emails, it looks like the individual was hurt on April 8th and went to the hospital on April 10th. The individual apparently slipped on a mat that had water under the mat, is what I'm hearing, inside Heartland Hall. They're giving us a bill for $1,200 is what they're doing. Apparently he went to the hospital. His insurance paid part of the bill, and he's asking the county to pay the rest of that.
That was a Wednesday, April 8th, so it was some event midweek.
Yeah.
In Heartland Hall.
Yeah. So it's some event. The individual isn't from here, isn't from this state. I guess, what's the thoughts on that request? I know you guys need to review, but we don't have any incident report. We don't have anything like that available. We did get one, a kind of a report sent back this morning of kind of what happened, but there's no official report or anything available. Would you recommend the payment of that? Or would you like to, you want to
Insurance coverage.
you want to review it first?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So I will send you guys everything we have. Okay.
And we don't have any cameras out there. And we also need some instructions. And I was talking to someone when they leave the buildings, what they need to do.
Well, I felt like with the incident when the individual was hit by a golf cart, I feel like after that, they were given instruction on how to handle a injury out there, but apparently that's been a long time ago, I guess.
Few years ago.
Yeah. So
And we have cut back on the golf carts out there.
and we have done that, but my
That's-
point is,
Right,
we gotta have people that can make an incident report of some type when
and that
an
might be
incident
something we
occurs.
need to have all
So-
our employees.
I agree. We need an incident report, another opportunity for a standard process. But what I'm hearing is there may be a standard process. We just didn't do it.
Yeah, that's
Potentially.
correct. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't witness the actual event, but during the county fair, there was a lady in a small electric scooter. I hesitate to call it a wheelchair, that got off of the beaten path, so to speak, and got up on a little incline and flipped over backwards and hit her head. But I didn't witness anybody doing an incident report in that situation either. I got there late and they already had, the emergency responders on site did a fantastic job. They pulled in the ambulance and they were putting her in the ambulance by the time I got there. And I asked if anybody had done an incident report. And, the electric scooter was gone, taken away by the family at that point. I don't know if anybody interviewed anybody or got any pictures, but I would expect that to potentially come our way as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I have.
So do we need that on our August 17th agenda?
To have,
I don't think we need that on the agenda. Just
Okay.
let us take a look at the claim. The first I had heard about it was this morning, so we'll take a look at that and we'll take a look at the insurance.
I think it come in late last week, didn't it? Wasn't it late last week? Midweek?
Well, it probably did. And I had asked this morning if there was an incident report, which we got that email response that
Yeah.
said, hey, there was some water under the mat. But
Yeah.
if we don't, I'm just only asking if we need to take formal action in a meeting. Let's say the recommendation is if we do pay it, then we'll have to take formal action in a meeting to pay it.
Yeah, the only thing I worry about is it, this is a final notice. And I believe it was, they have a minimum due amount by 7/31.
We're already past that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, if you guys don't mind taking a look at it, and if we have to pay something, again, the amount's $1,200. I would like to go ahead and do that before the next meeting, if it's appropriate.
There may be a med-pay coverage on your insurance.
I get it.
And so that would be the insurance company would be obligated to pay that. You wouldn't have to approve that. It's the insurance company would have to pay that under the terms of the insurance agreement.
The fairgrounds buildings are on our USI liability
Mm-hmm.
risk management policy that's underwritten by Apex and Chubb.
I just don't want to wait till next meeting, is my point.
Okay.
well, you both spoke about the stormwater, which I was gonna mention, and the stand down, so I have nothing to report.
For the stand down, I believe they're still looking for anybody that wants to come and provide services to these veterans. So
They're getting
anybody that
filled
want,
up.
gives
Yeah.
haircuts, any kind of financial services. They're just looking for anybody that could potentially supply services to these veterans. Contact our veteran service office.
Absolutely, yep.
And
Yeah.
let them know that you're willing
They
to
do a real
support.
good job during a
Yep.
stand down.
Appreciate them having them.
Absolutely.
I hear a motion for recess.
Motion to recess?
Second,
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Henry,
yes.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.